Oh, interesting. Olushay Jacobs. I'm excited. Nice. Wow. These emojis are interesting. Olushay Jacobs, do you mind sharing? I mean, those of us that are celebrating, because with this eating in Lagos, I
Congratulations,
can't believe it happened in
congratulations
Lagos.
to you.
Oh, is
Congratulations
it
to
me?
you.
Oh,
Yeah,
to
Rishi.
you. Oh, congrats. Do you mind sharing what it's about?
It's so funny. I did my first test today in school.
The first what?
My first test in school.
Oh, okay. What are you studying?
Oh yeah, I'm studying environmental management at Unilag.
Oh, okay. And how was
Yeah,
it?
it was cool. It was cool. Actually, it was very nice. That's why I'm so happy.
Awesome. Congratulations. Yes, so congratulations. I know that.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
MSc, MSc, MSc.
Oh, okay. MSc. Oh, okay. Good
Yeah,
to know.
yeah.
Congratulations. All right. Thank you so much, everybody, for not airing me. Thank you. Okay. So another one, just so that I can get to, of course, this is just so that we can warm up and then I can get to feel our temperament or just to feel our mood, yeah, just before we start. Okay, so another question. So I'd like for us to, maybe this is not a question, this is more of an activity. So I'd like for us to introduce ourselves. So this is how we're going to introduce ourselves. So you can type, and then if you want to unmute, you can just raise your hand, and then we would have you. So I want us to introduce ourselves with our first name and then the last meal that you ate. So for me, it's going to be Stacy Cereal. Yeah. So who wants to go next? You can just type in the chat and then I'll be reading it. So I'm Stacy Cereal. Who else wants to share? Don't worry if it's Eba. We are not casting. We don't judge here. Jesu Lola Rice. Wow. Sharon Rice. Wow. You people are family members. Larry Rice. Wow. Latifa Dates. Chinelo Coffee or Biscuit. Wow. Nice. Olaide Noodles. Love it. Okay. Okay, if a pasta, okay, let me pause. All right, so someone wants to speak. All right, Esther, over to you.
Chineyenwa veg or Esther veg.
Esther Veg.
Vegetable.
Oh, love it, love it, love it. Sounds very English. Okay, Jumoke Akinshola. Jumoke, you didn't get the memo. You're supposed to give us your first name and then the last meal you ate. So Jumoke, do you want to introduce yourself again? Glory, biscuit flakes. I love it. Ife pasta, beatrice, plantain, and egg. Fumi porridge. Very touch name. Divine peanuts. Gideon Gary. Gigi. Olayinka rice. Olamide bread. Naomi plantain. Boluwatife potato. Jeremiah banana and granite. Toyin plantain. Olajumoke beans. Okay. Joshua Atasi. Okay, I'm not sure. Shagun Ifabi. Joshua Atasi. Okay, we take it. Catherine Buns. Chuma rice, Barezi spaghetti, Jumoke cocoyams, Dami rice, Kilishi. So I'm guessing this is Olushe Kilishi, Esther porridge, then Alabi or Candy rice, and your like ice cream if I go Jimon. Okay. Oh, sorry, Stanley. You are seeing this message with an empty stomach. Sorry. Don't worry. Food is coming. Food is on its way. Amen. All right. Thank you so much. It's nice meeting all of us with our two English names. Absolutely nice meeting us. Okay, so we'll delve into the meat of the business why we are here today. And very quickly, I'll just share my slide just so that we can. Okay, so one thing that I would like to ask for is our cooperation here. I'd like for this to be very interactive. I mean, it's designed to be interactive, but the interactivity is to the extent that we all engage. So please, whether it's the chat box you want to use or you want to say something, you want us to hear your sweet voice, your amazing voice, please do not hesitate to raise your hands or say, or you can just notify us and then, or you can notify me and then the floor, you'll have the floor. All right, so I'm sharing my screen now and then You can let me know when you see it. Okay. So can you see my screen, please? Can anybody confirm that my screen is visible?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so I'll get started right about now. So I titled this Breaking into Data Analysis, Your Career Transition Guide. Yeah, so I'm starting with a start. So McKinsey Global Institute says that data-driven organizations are 23 times more likely to acquire customers, 6 times as likely to retain customers, and 19 times as likely to be profitable. So what this means is that organizations that leverage data would organizations that leverage data compared to organizations that do not are 23 times more likely to get more customers. And of course, the end goal is that they are more profitable. So what this now means for us is that data-driven strategies are very essential for competitive advantage. So companies that want to be profitable would want to leverage data, right? Just so that they can be above their peers, because stats is showing us that for organizations that are not using data, for organizations that are not thinking data, they will remain at the back, while those other ones are 23 times far above them. So what this means is there is a rising need, there is an increase in the demand for data analysis. So if at any point in time you are thinking, when is the best time for me to enter? Maybe it's not now, maybe it is just a wave. The truth is, yeah, almost every role in tech is almost like a wave, but there will always, always, always be a need for data analysis, because the bedrock of every successful business is data. So yeah, okay. Having shown us these stats, I would just like us to take this poll. Again, as I said, it's very interactive, so I need our engagement. So you can either scan the QR code that is on your screen, or that's true, you're using your laptop and maybe or whatever device it is you are using, so you might not be able to scan. But you can go to slido.com, and then when it asks for a code, you can just enter this code. But I'd require us to take this poll. So what comes to mind when you think about data analysis? So you want to define what data analysis is about. So if you are to describe it in your own words, what will you describe it as? So we have like 2 minutes to take the poll. What would you say data analysis is? Is it just another role in tech? Is it oil money? Is it a fluke? Okay, so I can see that one person is typing. Don't worry, it's anonymous, so it's not like your name is going to show. All right, thank you. I'd have to know. What is data analysis? What comes to mind when you think data? What comes to mind when you think data analysis? And if for you, what comes to mind is that, oh, data analysis is my next Yahoo money. Absolutely, put it there. There are no right or wrong answers here, but we'd just like to know. Okay. Thank you. Using data to give insights. Thank you. Absolutely. Okay, let's keep coming. Let's keep coming. A big picture of a data set, research, data driven, make analysis, decision. I'm not sure how these answers are coming in now. Okay, using data to solve organizational challenges. Absolutely. Interpreting data to forecast future events. Absolutely. Using data to solve a specific task or problems. Right. Okay. Thank you. Using data to give insights, very crucial in career growth, regardless of industry. Very good. Very good. Okay. Using data to solve. Okay. I think I've read everything. Okay. So yeah, we had 10 people participate. Okay. What's the last one? I'm not sure I saw the last one. Using data to solve organizational challenges. Okay. Okay. I'm sorry. I might not be able to read everything because all of the answers are scattered everywhere now. But yeah, I like what I'm saying. Of course, there are no wrong answers. Everybody is absolutely right. It's just how you see data. It's how that when we are in school and then the lecturer says something, but then different people interpret it in different ways, especially how it makes sense to them. So this is how it is making sense to us, and everybody is absolutely correct. So I can see that some hands are raised, or I can, yes. So I can't see my screen, but if you raise your hand, please, over to you. You can speak. I'm trying to.
Hello.
Hi.
Okay, so data analysis is using data to tell stories through visualization in order to make insightful decisions.
Absolutely. Using data to tell stories through visualization in order to make insightful decisions. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing. Sir, please, can you tell me your name? Because I can't see the screen, so I don't know who spoke.
Okay, so my name is Esther. Esther Chinenwa Okafor. That should be what is on the screen.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Esther.
All right. Thank you so much, Esther. All right. Thank you so much, Esther. All right. Thank you so much, Esther. All right.
Okay, sir, can you hear me? I tried joining in on my phone, but nah, I think the experience is bad. Okay, thank you so much, Esther. Thank you so much for sharing. I don't know, is there any other person that wants to say something before we move on to the next page? Okay, if there will be no other person, I'd like to say thank you so much to all our contributors for of course everyone that contributed to this poll. Thank you so much. Absolutely, everything that we have said forms the foundation for what it is that we are going to be exploring, and we are all correct. Organizing, decision making, insights, and all. Okay, so one person is still typing. I can see that one person is still typing, so I want to give that person an opportunity to drop his or her comments before I move on. Yeah, now too. Please let us make it fast so that we can go to the other activities or the other things. Okay. So yes, information, data, research, insights. Absolutely. Okay. It, using data to give insights. Okay. I'm not sure I saw this. Okay. All right. So thank you so much. They've dropped theirs, but I'm not even sure where it is in all of this, but I'm sure that it has contributed to something. So yes, there's also collecting data. Oh, this is serious. But thank you so much everyone for sharing. Yes, as I said, we are all correct. So now we are going to see what data analysis is. Of course, we are just doing this as per normal convention. Okay, so I broke it down into three. So we have the first, which is plenty grammar. Yeah. So data analysis is the process of inspecting, cleaning, transforming, and modeling data with the goal of discovering useful information, drawing conclusions, and supporting decision making. Again, you see that there are bits and pieces of everything that all of us have said in this. It marries everybody's definition or everybody's contribution. It marries everybody's contribution into one big definition. Now, this is big. In as much as this is correct, if we are going to describe it to a layman, this is what data analysis is. It is looking at a bunch of information, cleaning it up, and figuring out what it all means to make better decisions. So this means that data analysis requires you see a data set. It's more or less like you enter a room or you enter a house. The end goal is that you want to sleep, right? Or the end goal is you want to eat in the room, but then the room is dirty. So first off, you have to first clean. You have to first arrange the room. Then you start putting things in place. Okay, where should this shoe be? Where should this bag be? Where should this clothes be? And then you arrange the room. Then after arranging the room, depends on what's next. Maybe you have to sweep, maybe you have to mop, whatever it is, then you do the next thing. After which you proceed to sleep or you proceed to eat, depends on what your end goal is. Now, imagine that that is what our data warehouse looks like. So you go to the data warehouse, you take the data or the database, you take the data that you need, and then you need to first clean it up. And then after cleaning it up, you then do the analyzing, and then you interpret it to make decision. That is all the jargons that we've been saying since. So in other words, it is just finding the hidden stories in numbers and facts. And so that is why what Esther said comes in very handy in how that she said that data is all about telling stories using visuals to make insightful information. So see how that all of us are actually correct in everything that we said, because it is a build-up to the end that there is meaningful insight being made. So your work as a data analyst doesn't just end at, oh, they need an answer and I'm going to give them an answer. You should always see it as, what does this then mean? So you are asked to provide data on something. You should also be able to interpret it that this is what this means. So it is you using data to tell a story in simple terms. All right, so now why data analysis? Data is the new superpower. It is highly demanding, which of course we've used data to explain earlier. Every day you are faced with exciting problems. So unlike maybe other career paths that you do repetitive things over and over again, data is not like that. With data analysis, it's not like that. Of course, repetitive things might be, oh, you are cleaning it all the time, you are doing data cleaning regularly, you are doing interpretation of data. But trust me, the landscape is very different because you are dealing with different data sets per time. And so you're not doing the same thing over and over. And then, of course, capping it is the ability to say, I told you so, because you're like a super person. So the MD needs you to make a decision because the insights that you're going to provide is very necessary. The insights you're going to provide can make or mark the organization. So you are very needed. So yeah, we break it down into three: high demand, growing need for data analysts, exciting problems, solving complex challenges, and then data driven, telling people I told you so, informing strategic choices. Okay. So now the next part is misconceptions of facts. So yeah, I'll also be needing engagement. So we want to know whether these are misconceptions or whether they are actually true. So we have a couple of line items that will appear on this screen, and then I just want us to give a response whether they are misconceptions or facts. So many believe that data analysis requires advanced math degrees. So you can just drop it in the comments. Is this a misconception or is this a fact? What do you think? Does data analysis really require advanced math degrees? Do you need to have studied math in school or statistics at some point for you to be able to do this? So I'll be reading our comments. Okay. So a couple of people said misconception, partially a fact. Okay, interesting. Well, okay. Okay. All right. Okay, so so that won't take time. We'll be moving on to the next. So I've seen this. I guess I will just take everything, or let me just address it as it's coming so that it's potent. So yes, so the person that said that is partially a fact, maybe and maybe not. So it's not necessarily a fact, but of course you have to love mathematics. You have to maybe not love mathematics, but you have to be analytical in your thinking. So yeah, there is that, but you don't need advanced math degree. It means that you can study Yoruba and love analysis and it will pass. right? It's more about insights than equations, really, because all of these equations, I mean, with the invention of AI, you can already have the answers. Excel has formulas, and also it doesn't really, you don't really need to know serious mathematics. So it doesn't require serious mathematics. All right, so the next one, it involves analyzing text, images, and other forms of data. Misconception of facts. Fact, fact, fact. Love it. Some of us have done our homework. Love it, love it, love it. Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you. Okay, so the next, it's only for tech savvy individuals. Misconception of fact. Misconception. Divine, do you want to confirm if this is for the third or the second? You said misconception, so I need to be sure if this is for analyzing text, images, and other forms of data, or if this is for the third. That's divine.
So the third one.
Oh, the third. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Misconception. Okay. So some people said it's a fact that data analytics is for only tech savvy individuals. Interesting. Okay. Okay. Well, again, just like the first, it's not necessarily for just tech savvy individuals. Anybody that loves insight, anybody that loves solving problems will thrive in this part or in this career part. If you love data, maybe not love data, but if you actually have a thing for numbers, if you're not scared of numbers, let me put it that way, you do well here. So you don't necessarily have to be a Texas. Of course, this is the road to being called a Texas or a tech robot. You don't necessarily have to be there already. Okay, so now the next, it requires strong communication and storytelling skills to present findings effectively. Misconception of fact. It requires strong communication and storytelling skills to tell, yeah, fact. Okay, thank you. Let's keep it coming. All right, very quickly, I'll go to the next. It's just about generating reports. So yeah, to answer the fourth, it is a fact. You need to be a strong communicator. You need to be able to tell stories, which we've established earlier. So it's all about generating reports. Absolutely. Again, I said earlier that your work as a data analyst is not just to give a report. It's not just to push it out there and then say that, oh, this is what they want to see. It is to the end that insights are made. It is to the end that, so if I say, oh, check how much money we've made this month, I don't just want you to just check that, oh, we've made 1 million naira, for instance, as profit. I want you to be able to say, we've made 1 million naira. However, this time last year, this was the amount we made. These were the things that we did that got us this. If we are going to increase next year, I think that we should maybe look into this, and this, right? Because I want to be able to see how my numbers have grown from last year to this year. So yes, it's not just about generating reports, it's about giving insight. And then data analytics is all about predicting the future. Fact. Yeah, thank you, Beatrice. A dashboard might not be too catchy, but the storytelling and recommendations will do justice. Absolutely. You need to put your voice to it. You need to be, of course, that's what the visuals also do. The visuals also tell a story, but your communication in how you tell that same story goes a long way. Yes, data analytics predicts the future. Absolutely. And then the final one, it's only useful for sales and marketing. It's a misconception. Yeah, misconstrued, misconception. Absolutely. It is a misconception because data analytics cuts across all fields. Everybody needs data because one way or the other, we deal with numbers. So absolutely. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for engaging in this. This was really, yeah. I hope you are enjoying it. You are enjoying the class as much as I am. Thank you so much for your participation. Thank you. All right, so now let's delve into the data analysis landscape. Okay, so again, everything that we've been saying since, this is starts again back in all that we've been saying since at 30%. So by 2030, it is projected that there will be more roles open up there will be more data science roles open up. Might not necessarily be creation of new offices, but it just means that more organizations are going to be embracing data. They'll be embracing leveraging data much more. So they'll be creating portfolios for data analysts, data scientists in their organizations. Then the entry level salary. Of course, this is worldwide. Glassdoor approved entry salary. And then this is an average. This means that it can fall below and then it can go above. So don't always go with the mindset that, for my first job, they've said that this is the amount and this is what I need. This is what I'm going to do. Right. It is an average. So it's not necessarily this amount, but yes, it can go above, it can fall below. And then 11.5 million new jobs expected to be created by 2026. So I mean, this is without belaboring the matter. I'll just move on to the next slide, just so that we can go over it quickly. I mean, we've said this over and over, so we'll just go on to the next slide. So how confident are you in your data analysis skills? So now we are going a little more intentional, and then we are just going to the meat of the business. Everything that we have been doing since its preamble. So now we are actually going into it properly to explore what it is that we require as a data analyst. Oh, 100%. Nice. Love it. Love it. Okay. So one person has shared. Any other person wants to share? So I'm going to give us like 3 minutes for this. Oh, 33%. Don't worry. Not all of us are 100% yet. So we are all a work in progress, our skills especially. Okay, 33%. Does any other person want to share? 50%. Okay, so someone is taking the poll in the chat. Okay, 50%. Okay. It has dropped now to 29%. Okay. Okay, so we have about 71% of us taking this. %. Okay. Oh, now it's even. It's 50-50. So some of us are like, I'm in between. I don't know whether I'm very confident or I'm not as confident. And then some of us are like, I think I'm in a good place. I think I'm in a good place. Okay, so Chukura says it's 80%. So I'm guessing that Chukura will be part of the people that think that they're in a good place. And then we have 7%. This person is like, I don't know how many people are in 7%, but then saying that they are good, they are comfortable where they are confident. Love it. Love it. Mr. Chukura, they say you're 100%. Oh, we are seeing 100%. Love it. Love it. Interesting. So by then, you people that are taking the poll here now, you'll be affecting our stats on here. That's the one that everybody is seeing. So do you want to maybe come on Slido to take your poll so that we can see what the average, so that we can see what level most of us are. Mr. Chukura, sure you not come and cut soap for me to like this. This one that people are ailing you here. All right, so do we want to take the poll on Slido? Should I give us 1 minute to take it on Slido?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay. So let me give us some more time. This time around, like 2 minutes. Okay. So to take the poll on Slido, you either scan the QR code. If you can't scan the QR code, just go to slido.com. Just go to slido.com. For those of us that don't know how to access Slido, go to slido.com and then the code that is here, you just enter it 3873998. So we'd like to see what percentage, where our confidence level ranks, so that we know those that we can go and meet to tell them that please come and hold my hand. Don't leave me alone. Don't let me fall behind. Yeah. Oh, sorry, Shion. Okay, so yeah, I can see that more people are taking the poll now. Love it. Oh, this person that's on 5%, don't worry. We shall pour yeast. The grade will come up. It will come up. Don't worry. I mean, some of us were not 100% even when we were working. And that is where experience comes in. But of course, that's for those of us that are on 4%. It is with time. So don't feel lost. Don't feel so down. This emoji is actually funny. But yeah, just know there is light at the end of the tunnel. And that is why you need communities like this. That's why we need communities like this. Okay, so I think that's, I don't know. I would give, okay, more people are taking the poll. I want to give just 10 seconds now. Yeah. So is anybody saying something? Hi, is anybody saying something? Okay. All right. So yeah. So based on this poll, I mean, we can see what the average is. We have 3.4, and that is an average 3.4 over 5. So pretty much we can say that 42% of our, that's gone back to 41, but we can say that about 3.4%, you people now, I almost wanted to say that 3.4% of us are saying that, oh, I mean 3.4 over 5 of us, that's more than half of us, are saying that they are neither here nor there. But now we have an even score. So yeah, I guess that on an average, most of us know where we are at, and that's good. And so for those of us that don't know, I mean, it might help. That's dropped though. It's all right. Peace of God be with us all. But yeah, it's just this is just so that we can see where we are at, and then of course we know, you know, that you're not alone. So for those of us that are on the lower percentile, we can see that we are not alone, right? That we also have fellow comrades. And it might help if you actually go to meet people like this, or you go to meet the people that are on the 11%. If you know them, you go to meet them so that you don't feel alone on this journey. Because at the end of the day, it is community that helps us move faster. Okay, so moving on to the next slide, understanding the data analysis landscape. Yeah, one of the questions that we answered earlier, that's misconceptions and facts, where it said that it's only a data analyst and marketing, like those are the only roles. Of course not. We have the data analyst. The data analyst extracts insights from data using SQL, and Excel. And then we have the data scientist who builds predictive models using Python and machine learning. However, this doesn't mean that the data analyst doesn't also use Python. No. You can use Python to the extent that it makes your work easier. And then the business intelligence analyst visualizes data trends with Tableau or Power BI. So what this means is, especially when you travel out of the country, the roles are much more defined, unlike here in Nigeria. Because here in Nigeria, they will tell you that they're employing you as a data analyst, but then you're doing the job of a data scientist and you're doing the job of a business intelligence analyst. Then you are being paid as an admin officer, but then you are doing everybody's work, right? But but then when you travel out, it's a lot more defined. So you see a lot more roles that break it down to say that, it's just data analysis that they are looking for. So they are just looking for you to have Excel skills, and then they just want you to just know all these macros, VBAs, and all those big grammar in Excel. That's all that they just need you to know. They just need you to be very vast in Excel. Whereas for data scientists, they can now start speaking the language of, oh, I want you to know Python. I want you to be able to do R. And then, of course, business intelligence analysts, those ones are more concerned with visualizations. So most times, most often than not, is BI analysts that actually do the insights, more of the storytelling. But this doesn't mean that you cannot aspire to get to that level. So when you're talking about strategy, the BI analyst is closer to strategy than the first two. The first two, most of what they do, especially data scientists, most of what the data scientist does is science, machine learning. That's where theirs come in. Machine learning, AI automation, and everything, right? Or AI and automation. And then the data analyst is the data analyst is majorly SQL and Excel. So it means that even if it's just Excel that you know how to do well and you can do it well, I put it to you that you can be called a data analyst, right? You can actually apply for data analyst roles. So this means that if after you hear this, you want to go back to reevaluate your confidence as a data analyst, that's absolutely fine, because you can actually apply for jobs even with just you knowing Excel so well, and then you get it. Again, maybe not in Nigeria, sha, because Nigerians are very specific and then they have wide mouths. They know what they want. No, not that they know what they want. They want what their money cannot afford. Yeah, something like that, sure. But yeah, you get the drill. Okay, so now the next thing, other career paths in the ecosystem, right? So we have the business analyst, focuses on using data to improve business processes and decision making. We have the marketing analyst. So that means that this is the data analyst that deals with digital marketing insights. So you run an ad, you do a you run a post or something on IG, and then what you want to know what the data that you got from it, what it translates to. That is the job of a marketing analyst. The financial analyst, this is an analyst, a data analyst in the finance space. Uses data to analyze financial performance, identify trends, and make investment recommendations. Operations analyst, healthcare analysts. So it means that you can actually be a doctor, you can be in the healthcare part, and you can still be an analyst. I put all of this here to say that you don't necessarily have to think that anytime I want to talk about data analysis, or because I like data analysis, it means that I'm leaving where I am to go somewhere else. It means that you can actually be where you are and be asking yourself questions like, how can I use data to better achieve my result? It means that you can be in real estate and then you are saying, how can I use data analysis or how can I use data science to achieve this? And you asking those type of questions will now inform the type of analysis that you do. But just have it at the back of your mind that there are specializations. So the first set that you saw, those are very generic, they are very general. As a data analyst, it doesn't just mean that you just carry your portfolio and then be going up and down saying that I'm a data analyst. It means that you can actually work anywhere. Now, sometimes some organizations can require you having some idea of healthcare. If it's going to be healthcare data or healthcare analyst, they would require that you have some knowledge of healthcare. So you see how that what it is that you know before is not a waste. You can just build up on it. So if you're asking yourself the question that at this my age, why am I changing, or how many career paths do I want to do? I'm here to encourage you that you are in good company. No knowledge gained is wasted. What you can do is leverage what it is that you already know, and then the icing on the cake is how can data better optimize this. Now, I know that a lot of us have heard how that they will say, oh, certain roles are going to get redundant because of AI. And I'm sure that some of us are probably scared that, is AI going to replace me? I don't know if that is why some of us are probably taking this. But the truth is, AI is not here to replace us, but instead is to make our works faster and to make us more efficient. So this means that if you get left behind by not leveraging AI, then you'd remain where you are, and then it is your own, maybe not your own role, it's that person's role that will get replaced, right? However, you can still be doing what you are doing, but leveraging data. That way, you are not replaceable. Yes, there are some roles that AI can take over. Some roles that maybe once they get automated, you won't be needed anymore, or the person won't be needed anymore. But how about you think of it this way, that what if I'm the one that is automating this process? So say I'm an accountant, for instance. I did ICANN, and then I'm wondering, I just finished my ICANN, and now I'm hearing that AI, just a tap of one stroke on my keyboard, and then it runs everything from start to finish. AI can come and replace me, and then I don't have a job anymore. How about you are the one that is creating the system that automates the reports? Now it means that the organization cannot do without you, because they will need somebody to run it if anything breaks. You were the one that built it, so you know about it. Same thing to healthcare, same thing to any sector. Take it and then think, how scalable is this if I put AI on top of it? Now that is how to think. I don't want AI to replace me, right? And of course, whatever it is that AI is doing today, whatever it is that all of these robots are doing today, they need data. And so if you are at the bottom of it, getting the data and then feeding into the AI, your job is not that replaceable, because AI cannot just invent itself. It needs people. And so the earlier you embrace it as, how can I use AI in my space? And in fact, if your space is one that they've not used AI before, or is not so loud, this is the best time for you to look for how you can invest in that space, leverage AI to build something that is very good. That is how you're going to make a name for yourself in that space. So yes, there are 1,001 data analysts. Yes, there are 1,000,001 business intelligence analysts, but there is one unique you. And there's one unique you that can add something extra to what it is that is being done in your space. So always see yourself as special. Always see yourself as, I have what it takes. And don't be very quick to dismiss yourself. Okay. I just put this here, but this doesn't mean that these are the only roles. I'm sure that we know of the many other roles that are there, but this is just so that we can enter that space to know that there are different specializations. Now, companies that use data analysis to become great. Again, back to the beginning where we mentioned that data analysis further helps to improve competitive advantage of companies. So now we see how Netflix does it. So they save over $1 billion annually through its recommendation engine. What it does is it recommends movies to people based on what it has seen, and then it's also able to predict. So this is a fusion of data analysis and data science, right? To predict, and then this is what they are now having. So now personalized recommendations contribute to over 80% of their streamed content. So because of their ability to interpret data, interpret what it is that you are doing on their platform, they are able to recommend a lot more, and it's very possible that their recommendations are correct because they are able to interpret, right? That is how Netflix makes their money. Now for Amazon, theirs is different. They have dynamic pricing model. And what their own dynamic pricing model does is it uses algorithms to interpret, to check competitors' pricing, and then it uses it to change their own pricing. So that at any point in time, they are not overcharging customers, right? And I'm just showing us these success stories of companies that are using data, right? Just so that we can as well see. So in any space that you are, you can as well be thinking of how, again, back to the challenge, you can as well be thinking of how you can use data to improve what it is that you are doing and to help your company, except you don't like your company. And then data in healthcare, personalized medicine, how data helps medicine as well. And then, yeah, just so that I don't go over everything, but I'll just go to the last part that says that AI-powered diagnostic tools have demonstrated 90% plus accuracy identifying diseases. And so, yes, data is also necessary, or is also important even in healthcare. Okay, so now your toolkit. So the data analyst toolkit, before we delve into it, I will say that they are made up of two parts, right? There are the hard skills and then there are the soft skills. So what the hard skills are talking about are technical skills, basically. What are the things that I need to know? What are the tools that I need to know? That's what the hard skills are. And then the soft skills are the skills that you cannot see, the skills that you cannot touch. Well, while the hard skills are important, I'd like to say that the soft skills are equally, if not more important than the soft skills. Someone that I owed in ISTM once said that if you see two skilled people in a room, that both of them have the same skill set, both of them are really good. And then he says that what makes you pick one person over the other? And so he described it this way. And then he said that one is availability, and then the other is attitude. So he says that availability is both of them are skilled and then they are available. They are not doing anything. Now, why will you pick person A over person B? It's because of attitude. So the fact that I will not pick this person is because this person has a smelly behavior. The person does not have a good attitude, right? And then the reason I'll pick this other person is because the person has a good attitude. So soft skills are those things that cannot be seen, that cannot be felt, that cannot be touched. Maybe not seen in that sense, but they can be seen because it is character, and character can be seen, character can be perceived, right? So yes, those are the two key elements of, or maybe the two key items in a data analyst toolbox. Now we are going to another poll. Yeah. So sorry, just indulge me. My plan was for this to be very interactive because I also want to know where we are at and then what we think about this. Okay, so which essential skill do you think is most important for data analysts? Now, with the understanding of what it is that I've already said about technical skills and the soft skills. So which do you think is more important? So if you're going to give a ranking, this requires that you rank. So if you're going to rank them, how would you rank them? Okay, so someone says problem solving first, business acumen, technical skills, visualization, statistics, communication. Okay, thank you. Okay. So it's changing. Problem solving, but problem solving seems to be taking the lead. Now, technical skills is the second, business acumen, communication, visualization, statistics. Okay. 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 The technical skills seems to be coming up now. Okay. Okay. One more minute. Problem solving, technical skills, communication, visualization. Okay, visualization has come down now. Business acumen, statistics. Okay, so I think that this is a good cut of time. Our home person is ranking again. Don't worry. I'm sure that problem solving will still lead. Oh, it's showing 3 more participants. Okay, 1 participant ranking. Okay, so yeah, you can still keep it coming. I mean, if it comes in before I'm done talking, I'm going to take it. If not, we have to move along quickly. All right, so yes, absolutely. In this case, it's very subjective to where we are looking at it from, right? But I'd say that, yes, I think that this current hierarchy is actually correct. So first off is your problem solving skill. How are you approaching your task? Are you thinking, oh, I want to solve a problem, or you're just going there straight into, oh, they said I should do this and then I want to do it? First off, you have to actually first think, I'm trying to solve a problem. And then secondly, your technical skills now come into play. how do we do this? I mean, for you to be able to achieve whatever it is that you want to achieve, even if it is Excel, it is a technical skill. You need to be able to use it. So without your technical skill, you can't even get the job to start with. But without your technical skill, you can't be able to solve, you won't be able to solve the problem, right? And then communication, yes, because at every point in time, before your task is done, if there are delays, if there are lags, you need to be communicating. So stakeholder communication is key. Your ability to also interpret data, say it as you are looking, because sometimes you also have to be able to explain or reach out to people to, just in case you're having a roadblock, you also have to be able to reach out to people to explain. So if you don't have a good communication skill, then there'll be a problem. Now, the other way to look at communication is that a lot of people think that communication is, I said this to this person. Now, communication is you saying something and the other person gets the intended message, right? So it means that if I'm saying A, person B should not be hearing B. The person should actually be hearing A. Now, a lot of the times, what we see that happens is a lot of people say they are effective communicators, but then they don't communicate effectively. What they do is they just speak. They don't even try to speak for the other person to understand. Now, the other person to on the other end only tries to attempt to listen, but the person already has it in mind that the person will not take it properly. So that one is another problem. But where we are at is you are the communicator, and so you have to ensure that what you are saying is clear, what you are saying is concise, what you are saying is understandable and intelligible, right? So yes, communication is very important. And then of course, visualization. You probably don't even need to know so much about the business to start with, but then again, if where you're at, if your knowledge of the business is very, very important to the task at hand, then yes, business can come on top. But that's why I said that in this case, it's very subjective to where it is that you're looking at it from. So as much as possible, any way you can apply it, this rank can always change. But some things that will always remain at the top are problem solving and technical skills. All right, thank you so much, everyone. Please let me know how we are doing. If you can hear me, you can just give a thumbs up if you can hear me, just so I know that I'm not talking to myself. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so I'm just reading the comments. Problem solving and communication skills. Yes, communication. Yes, absolutely. Communication, business acumen, problem solving. Yes, absolutely. Communication and visualization. Problem solving too. Effective communication. Yes, very, very important. Communication. Encoder is not complete if there's no feedback from decoder. Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much. Okay, so now we are now coming down to everything it is that I've said before. We are now coming to see it here now. So essential skills and then essential technical or art skills. So the way I said it earlier, I think I said technical skills and then soft skills, but then we can as well see it as art skills and soft skills. So the art skills are SQL, structured query language, processing language. Yeah, SQL. So the foundation for data retrieval and manipulation, writing queries to extract customer data from a database. Then data cleaning. Of course, this is not based on hierarchy of how you should understand them. They are just tools. So it's not like we are not ranking. Ranking has stopped. We are not ranking now, right? These are just the things that you should have. So if you are going for technical skills, these are the things that you should have. Again, you don't necessarily have to have everything before you land your first job. You having just SQL and Excel are good enough. Then if you now have Python or you know R, beautiful. I mean, it just further enhances the package. The package is just much more solid, right? And then visualization. I really like visuals. I like the fact that it gives life to the data. So after you've interpreted your data, you just don't want to leave it on Excel. Now, a lot of people don't like it whenever they are being called data analysts, or whenever they are being called, whenever they say, oh, you're just Excel man. So I know someone that people used to teach and then they call him Excel man or Excel boy, and he doesn't like it. But the truth is, you can't. So let's say, for instance, you have a meeting with senior management team. You were asked to spool data. Of course, what you have to present to them, the final output has to be a visualization, right? But let's say that you are doing a step-by-step analysis and then you need to show them something before the final one. You need Excel. You can't just carry your Pythons, you can't just carry your scripts, your Python code, for instance, and then say, oh, this is what I have, because it doesn't make sense. You can't just carry your SQL and then say, oh, this is what I've done. It doesn't make sense. So you need Excel. So if you think that Excel is not as important, that's very wrong. Excel is equally as important as every other one. In fact, you can even just stay with Excel and you'd have something good to show, right? You can do all your manipulation, cleaning, and all of that, even on Excel. But of course, extraction is SQL that can help you with that. That's why it says the foundation for data retrieval and manipulation. That means that when you're dealing with a database, that's data that is not readily available. For you to extract it, you need SQL. But once you already have your data at hand, and then it's now time for you to start manipulating, and then time for you to start cleaning and all of that, you can as well use your Excel. However, so that you'll not be stressing yourself and then be entering formulas all the time, I would advise that you just use Python or R. And so when you do that, you can now carry it to Excel. And then that's Excel if you want to. So sometimes I call it 2FA, two-factor authentication. So Python has given me what it wants to give me. But just so that I'm sure that my script runs fine and that I don't have mistakes, I just double check again on Excel just to be sure. So it depends on how you want to do it. If you want to do the 2FA route, that's fine. And if you feel like your Python is still shaking, let me just advise you, you can still apply for a job, right? And then you learn based on experience, you grow into it. Or better still, while you are where you are, you can as well just look for projects that require you using Python. But the reason I will not necessarily advise that, oh, you wait till you know everything, is because I'm sure that some of us are combining it with our 9 to 5. So it might be a little difficult. And so it might be a longer journey. But then you can as well just look for projects that you use, and then you get the same result, whether you use Excel or use Python, or even if you use SQL. And then, of course, Tableau, Power BI, or Looker Studio for visualization's sake. So for Power BI is more, how will I say it? It's more heavily formula based. Of course, it looks more like Excel, but advanced Excel, and then the visuals are really nice. Looker Studio, it also has formulas. In fact, for Looker Studio, I think that you can use SQL and then Excel in Looker Studio. For Tableau, I've not really played around with Tableau as much. But for those two, I can say if you're not very if you need to achieve your results in the shortest time possible, yes, you use Looker Studio. But then if you're thinking, oh, I just want to use something, I want to use something that people know, or a popular name, or it depends on the requirements of whatever it is that you are doing, then Power BI. But Power BI is a lot more technical, or a lot more advanced in functionality in that sense. And then statistics, of course, if you want to do hypothesis testing, so you want to start a new business, or you want to do A/B testing, which of them works better? Of course, statistics. You need to have a fair knowledge of statistics to do that. Then your soft skills, the intangible skills, the ones that people can't see easily. Of course, communication trumps it. And then there is critical thinking. Then there is problem solving. There's curiosity, and then there is collaboration. You require all of this. For data analysis, you cannot be a lone ranger. You cannot be a one-man army. You need people. You need your colleagues. You need other stakeholders from other departments. And then you need God, because sometimes the work will want to turn your head. You need God. So you need collaboration heavily, right? So I don't know if any other person, of course, this is not everything. Again, this is not everything. But yeah, this is just something to drive the conversation. So if anybody knows any other soft skill that you'd like to highlight, please, you can just drop it in the chat and then I'll read it very quickly. What other soft skills do you think are there? What other soft skills do you think exist? That is very important.
Of course, that is a good thing.
Perseverance, self-control. Yeah, problem solving. Okay, this one's earlier quotes. Okay, perseverance and patience, self-control, availability. Yes. You need God though, very important. You must be a team player. Yes, collaboration, absolutely. Team player, time management. Absolutely, absolutely. Time management, confidentiality, because you cannot go and be leaking people's data. Yes, adaptability, attention to details. Yes, yes, you must know how to prioritize your time, time management. Yes. So on this time management issue or this time management matter, one of the things that I would like to say is that in managing your time, also learn not to make other people's important tasks your own important task, right? The reason is because you can have a task now that is maybe not as important. No, sorry, learn not to make other people's urgent task your own urgent task. Reason being that you can have an important task that is not urgent and it is fine where it is not urgent. Now, if you take your time to do it at the pace that you are going, you'll be able to deliver it in a good time. Now, someone's task that came in urgent, the person maybe did not do it on time, or it is very urgent and then needs immediate attention. But you have to report to the board. The board needs this report by 5 p.m. tomorrow, Friday. No, okay, it can't be close of business. Or maybe at the latest by 5 p.m. tomorrow, Friday, you have to submit it. And then this person comes and says that I need this task by 8 a.m. tomorrow, and it is urgent. Now, in a case where you know that where you still have to go is far for the report by 5 p.m. tomorrow, and then no matter how big this person is, well, except the person is the one paying your salary, if he is your MD, you can like to suspend the other task, right? But in a case where the person doesn't really contribute as much or the task is not very important to you, try not to prioritize another person's urgency as your own urgency. It is important and urgent for the person, but it is not important and urgent for you. The reason is because by the time you now take the person's task and then you are done with it, you realize that your own important but not urgent task now becomes urgent. Then at the end of the day, you might not even be able to meet your deadline. And then it now speaks about incompetence on your own part. So yes, it is very important for you to be able to prioritize and then manage your time effectively. Very, very important. So ability to work under pressure. This ability to work under pressure, me, I've removed this from my CV, because I didn't want to be seeing it there anymore. So I've removed it from my CV because pressure can be relative. That's why you say ability to work under pressure, and then they'll be bringing the pressure and then be reminding you that you're not the one that said that you're able to work under pressure. So let's just know what we are saying so that we'll not use our mouth to call prayer. So it's easy for me to say that, oh, I did not put it under my CV. Don't pressurize me, please. Okay, so presentation skills, yes, very important. Critical thinking, curiosity, presentation, and public speaking, absolutely. You should not be someone that melts under pressure or under people's scrutiny. So, for instance, you want to give a presentation, you've done your report, everything, your data is there, your visuals are there, and then it's time for you to present to the board, and then you are not able to speak or you have bad English. That can make or mar your work. Like, you don't want to finish your presentation and then it's someone else that is speaking on your behalf because you are scared. So yes, ethical thinking, yes, absolutely. Accuracy, empathy. You want to explain, you want to maybe expand on the empathy? Am I putting the data? Because I'm not very sure. But yeah, okay. Ability to prioritize, yes, absolutely. Confidence. Pressure is killing, absolutely, absolutely. Ability to multitask. This multitasking, people have actually come out to say that multitasking at the end of the day might not be good, because what it now means is you are sharing your time for multiple tasks. So say for instance, I want to, okay, I have like 2 projects, I have 3 projects. Instead of me to use 100% of my time and my brain power to work on one task, kill it and finish it on time. what I'm now doing is I'm splitting my head into like 3 projects, and then I'm working on 3 projects at the same time. What this does is it slows one down, and then it might not even be error free. So you want to try to reduce multitasking as much as possible. I mean, it's a good thing for people to say that I can multitask, but at the end of the day, if we review what it is that you did you do them in the shortest time possible, and is it error free? So a lot of the times, all of these things that we used to say before, we are starting to review them, e.g., that ability to work under pressure, and then this multitasking, because the multitasking might just be a recipe for failure. So yeah, so we try to review things like that. But then, I mean, if it works for someone that the person can multitask, absolutely go for it. Go for it. So it says organization and time management. Uzoma says organization and time management, and then yeah, multitasking, you end up not giving yourself. Yes, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you so much, everybody. So yes, now we have a quiz. We have a quiz. And then the quiz is mathematical. It is something to reinforce everything that we've learned so far. So I'm going to give us 3. Okay. So let me just wait for people to join, and then I'll start the quiz. But while we are trying to join, I'm just going to read this comment. So Latifa has clarified the empathy part. Empathy helps understand the needs of the stakeholder. Yeah, helps to understand them better. Absolutely. So yes. So if I'm getting you correctly, what it is that empathy, if I'm getting you correctly, what it is that empathy does is that empathy helps us to be able to interpret. So I'm not just hearing what you are saying, but I'm also hearing what it is that you are not saying, especially regarding this particular project. So yes, you've told me that this is what you need. You've told me that this is what you want to see. But something that empathy does is empathy helps me to better understand where you are coming from. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I agree now. I agree now. Not like I did not agree before, but I just wanted to see the context, just so that all of us understand that this is what it means. Absolutely. So very quickly, I'm going to start the quiz. Okay, so it says a bat and a ball costs 110, 1 naira 10 cents. Sorry, $1. Hey, naira, Nigeria. Costs $1.10 in total. The ball costs $1 more than the ball. The bat costs $1 more than the ball. How much does the ball cost? And our time is ticking already. So if you are not in, you can say wait for me, and then maybe we can retake it. But I'm assuming that most of us are in already. So about 4 people have answered. Some of us are still joining. If you need more time, just let me know so that maybe we can extend the time a little. I'm not sure how that's possible, but yeah, you can just let me know. Okay, thank you, Latifa. I see that I got what it is that you meant. Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, okay. Esther says wait for me. Ola Super says it's not loading. It might be your network. Seeing that about 17 people have answered, it might be your network. So I don't know if I can pause this now. I'm scared of pressing anything, so I don't cancel it altogether. But it's fine if you can't. Sorry, Jumoke. Okay, so Gift is typing her answer. Some people are typing their answers. This is Ojoro. Don't type your answer. Okay, yeah, well, it's fine. You can type your answer. That's fine. Oh, Esther, I said you are ready. Okay, so Esther, you can just take the poll, or you can just type your answer here before the time runs out. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bam, bam, bam. Let's see. Okay. So for those of us that have not taken the poll, I mean, you can still answer now. You can still take your answers now. Even though people's answers are already showing on here, but yeah, you can still take your answers and then. Oh, sorry, Shion. But sure, you can type your answer in the chat. You can type your answer in the chat, and then just before we see what the final answer is. Okay. Okay. $10. Okay. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go ahead to reveal the answer in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so this is the answer. So those that said 0.05 have it. They got it, they are the correct. They have it correct or they got it correctly. Okay, so I put this quiz here because with data, sometimes it does manifest as the more you look, the less you see. So sometimes the answers are not plain. They are not as plain as it is in data, which is why critical thinking is very, very key. So you are faced with something. Again, don't forget that when we're talking about the ranking of the skills that are required, problem solving was what came first. I don't think that critical thinking was there, but yeah, problem solving, because yes, I mean, for those of us that took 10 cents, you won't be wrong. The first time I attempted this also, I took 10 cents, even though I knew this thing seems a little too easy. It shouldn't be this easy, right? But then by the time you now apply the old statistics, is it statistics now or algebra? You'd see that this is, if you apply the algebra method, I didn't capture it here, but if you had applied the algebra method, you'd have seen how that it is actually 0.05. And it is a case of you doing X and Y. So it means that, so if I'm going to describe it now, let me see if I remember. So yeah, we are saying that the bath costs $1 more than the ball. So it means X plus Y equal to $1.10. And then X is $1 more than. So by the time you do all the permutation and combination, because of time, by the time you do the permutation and combination, you'd realize that the answer is actually 0.05, right? And so I'm coming. Someone wants to say something. I'm coming, please. And so yes, it's just to further show us that with data, it's not always as plain as it seems. While sometimes what you are looking for can actually be very easy to see, most often than not, it is not that easy, which is why you have to do a lot of data cleaning. You have to be patient. This is where all of those soft skills that we identified earlier comes into play. You have to be patient. You have to take time. You have to have a strong communication skill. So in cases where you feel like, this thing is not working, and then you want to ask questions, you want to maybe go to meet other people, other team members, other people, just to ask them. And even if it has to do with you asking multiple people, what do you think? Are you seeing what I'm saying? Is this what you're understanding from this? They are very, very important. With data, it is not usually as plain as it seems. Okay, so for the person that raised his hand, do you maybe want to speak now? Oh, Jumoke, I'm so sorry. So sorry. Oh, sorry. Please, what network do you use? Is it Airtel? I hope there's nobody working in Airtel. Yes, sure. That person will be free then. So sorry, Jumoke. But please, can every other person hear me well? Just so that I don't think that I'm audible and then people can't hear me. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so someone has shown the formula. Oh, you are using X plus this. Oh, okay. I would have used X plus Y, and then I would have now defined Y equal to X plus 1 over 10, and then eventually we now have 2Y. But yeah, pretty much this. Yes. This. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if you use X and Y too, you are correct. And then you now define Y as X plus 1. You define Y as, yes, X plus 1 over 10. And then by the time you plug it in, you'd have the same thing. Yes. Mr. Chukura, I support everybody now. I support everybody now in their not their hypothesis, in their facts. I support them. Okay, thank you. So let's move on quickly. Oh, we have a poll. So Omori Sola is the first. Please go and see admin. They did not send me, but you can go and see admin for your gift. I mean, a lot of us said 0.05, but she said the answer in the shortest, she said it the fastest. So it only took her 16 seconds, and then she had already answered, and then Divine and Mr. Chukura are vying for second position. Okay. All right. So yeah, we are about drawing this to a close. So now the highs, the lows, and then the in-betweens. very quickly. I'll just go over it very quickly. The lows, while we've said everything, the also good glam about data and all the money that you make and why you are very important to the organization. The truth is there are struggles. So the struggle is you keep questioning yourself. There's the imposter syndrome. Am I even sure that I know what I'm doing? Am I even sure that this space is for me? Do I even know what I'm doing? Even after you get the job, you're asking yourself those questions, and then you're searching for jobs. You're not even sure that the job is for you, and all of that. And then the next is messy or incomplete data. So this one usually occurs when you are facing missing values. Well, this number two, I'd imagine that is that you are maybe you're working on a project, or you're already working in an organization. Trust me, when you have incomplete data or when you have messy data, is the real ghetto. Like your head will just be doing bang, 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 to just be turning on your own. You'll not even understand what's happening. And then, you'll not be questioning yourself. Then you'll not be questioning yourself whether or not this is even for you and all of that. And then there's the stakeholder pushback. So you finish, and then sometimes they'll not tell you that, oh, this is not what I was looking for. But then in your head, you're like, this was what you told me, oh, but I mean, they come to you with, this is not what I need, and all of that, or they just even rubbish it, and that's the end. So yes, there are the lows, but then do you give up? No, you keep moving. And then we have the in-betweens. So the in-betweens, data cleaning and wrangling. Again, the same way we had data cleaning earlier. Let's not assume that you already have your job, your dream job, right? And then you are faced with this. You are faced with building dashboards. You are faced with SQL queries and automations. You are faced with having to work with different members of the engineering team or the IT team. Nobody sees all of this. What they just want to see is they just want to see the end result. And so they keep on hounding you for the report. And the truth is, sometimes data cleaning can actually take up to a month. It depends on how structured your database is, right? It depends on how structured it is. It can take a very long time. And so you want to maybe take a chill pill. You want to maybe exercise patience. Again, this is where you need God, because if you just lose them, I'm sorry, I've lost my cool, sorry. But yeah, you get. But I mean, you might just lose your cool, and then just start changing it for people because you're already under pressure, as it were. But because you have God, you will just be taking chill pill. As people are doing you, you'll just be laughing and then be telling yourself that I'm not this gentle, but thank God for God. So yeah, so sometimes this process, this in between, can actually be a long time. It can actually be a long time, but then that is where the reward now comes in. Okay, so now expectation, data cleaning. It's not all sunshine and rainbows, the not so glamorous side of data analysis, the endless bug hunt. Because sometimes there's just a bug in your query, things are not working well. And then you are dealing with messy data. You already have one messy data that you're dealing with, and then someone else comes again. So yes, sometimes actually back to what I can't remember her name now. Back to what it was that she said earlier about multitasking. Sometimes, yes, you can have multiple projects on your table, but the reason I would discourage multitasking again is because you don't want to be doing many things and then you forget. But sometimes you might have to be running them side by side, especially if you already have existing queries for them. If not, you might just want to finish one to some extent before you start on the next. But yeah, so I'm saying that because of the second line here that says that you are dealing with messy data and even messier requests. So you think that you're out of one, and then they drop another one on your table, and then you're just wondering, when does this end? So the idea of playing with data is very exciting. Everybody loves it. But then in reality, the chunk of the job is in cleaning and pre-processing, right? Divine, don't worry. I mean, I'm saying all of this, but the reward is actually at the end. It's just like a woman that is pregnant, and then the early phases are that she's throwing up and all of that. But then by the time she sees her baby, a bundle of joy, she forgets everything that she has been through. Even though while she's in labor, she's promising her husband that this will never happen again. That lie is her husband that put her in that position. This is never going to happen again. But guess what? 2 years or 3 years down the line, this same woman becomes pregnant again. Yes or yes? Yes. So that's the same thing. So just interpret data I mean, any way that it makes you happy, you can just interpret this process as that. Because the truth is, at the end of the day, the I part is you have delivered, your stakeholders are happy. The company is now using the insights that took you months to come up with. So it becomes very beautiful for you, right? And then, yeah, so this is the I, the sweet spot. You have solved a complex problem. You've presented your data, even you yourself. You are very happy with yourself, even as you're going for the stakeholder meeting, as you're presenting to them, you are very happy. The good part is you can as well automate it. So you have a report that you're supposed to be sending every month, or you have a report that you're supposed to send every day. But guess what? Before you could even get the report that you're sending every day, it already took you 3 weeks. But now you can even be sleeping, and your automated scripts, your scripts that you wrote, because you already put it on something, a software or something that automates it, can just be sending the reports to these people. So nobody's calling you and hounding you for reports again, right? So you have automated it. You don't have to go through that struggle again. Nobody ever has to go through it again, except they want to modify it. And then you can as well just add it to your CV that I've done this before. Okay, so I'll quickly move. So yeah, now we've said all of that, and then now getting your first job. So I know that everybody always says this: build your portfolio. We cannot overemphasize this because it is very important. So you want to analyze publicly available data sets. In a case where you don't have readily available data sets, maybe you are going to meet your friends and your colleagues, and then you're asking them that, I want real life data. Give me real life data. I want to be able to use something that I can interpret. First off, you can as well use, if you have a business, you can use your business, right? You can use your business, and then you can use it to make insights. You can use it to make predictions. Where will I be? You can use it to make projections. If I'm making this X amount of sales today, how much am I going to be making in 5 months' time? How much am I going to be making in 2 years' time? You can do that personally. However, these sites have data readily available. Kaggle, Maven Analytics, those ones are, to some extent, they are free. You can easily get free data. You can get open source data that you can play around with, and then you can use them to create visualizations. You can clean them. You can do as many things as you want with them. Kaggle thankfully has competitions that you can do, and then you can also participate in other, you can collaborate with other people on a project, and of course you can add that to your portfolio. For Datacamp on the other hand is a paid platform, but one of the good things is that they usually have scholarships from time to time. Usually, most times, it's for females. I don't really know about males. I don't think that I've seen as much for males. But yeah, they usually have. One of the reasons I like Datacamp is because they also have projects that you can do. And then you can easily see Python projects. They will tell you that this project is Python related. They will give you a case study. Then they will give you, unlike the other ones that just give you data sets, Datacamp will tell you what it is that you are looking for. Then they will give you the case study. Then you will even see competitions from time to time that you can participate in. And then you see the ones that you can collaborate with other people on Datacamp. So if you can get in for the scholarship, if you can get on the scholarship, then you can have access, and then just do projects, like just build up, like you just really want to explore, build your portfolio that way. Again, the second part is contribute to open source projects. I've already mentioned in my first point, by mentioning those guys, I already mentioned how that they can as well give you a way to leverage open source projects. If not, you can as well you can as well gather your friends, and then you guys can develop projects together, just in case you don't want to explore those platforms. So you can take a data set from there, look for other like-minded individuals, and then work on projects together. All of you can take the glory. It's not a one-man show. Another thing again that I'm going to emphasize on is in interviews, employers are actually looking out for how much of a collaborator you are, how much of a team player you are. So you want to avoid saying a lot of eyes, like I did this, I did that. As much as possible, you want to say we. You want to join it together to be a group thing, right? And that's very important, because like that's why I'm overemphasizing the second point, because it's very, very important that you think the we mentality and not just the I mentality. And then freelance gigs and internships don't always be about the money. Your first job can actually be free. Again, you're just gathering experience. So it doesn't have to be a because you guys are not paying me, I'm not going to do it. Sometimes the way for you to get to the next place that you are going to is by the people, the friends that you made along the way. So the person that did not pay you today might actually be able to connect you to the person that will pay you tomorrow. So sometimes you just might find a way there. And then internships, yes, give yourself to it. It might be an unpaid internship, it might be a low money internship, but just give yourself to it. Have a timeline for yourself. Oh, I want to be, if it's an internship, and let's say that is not paid, for instance. So I want to be here for 3 months, or I want to be here in 6 months. And in these 6 months, these are the things I want to get. These are the milestones I want. Nothing says that you have to do internship for 2 years or for a whole year before you get your first fully paid job. Just define how long you want to be there for and let the hard work show off. Like learn as much as you can learn. If it means that I'm not sleeping for the next 3 months that I'm here just because I want to learn, of course, please sleep. But if it means that you're not going to sleep for the 3 months because you want to learn as much, absolutely. And then document your wins. Document your wins. This is very important. Now, you think that the skill that you have in Excel is not important until one day you have to come up, you have to create your CV or you have to write your CV, and then you realize that they're asking for Excel experience. And then you remember, oh, I've used Excel before. What did I do? I can't remember. By documenting your wins, it means that what this means is even the littlest of things, I created a budget, I automated a budget, something on Excel. You have it written somewhere. I did this. You have it written somewhere. I collaborated with a team, and this was what we created. You have it written somewhere. Someone will say that, well, one of the people that I follow says that you can have an Excel sheet or a Google sheet, a Google spreadsheet preferably because it goes with you wherever you go, where you document everything. The flip side is this is also important when you need to ask for a raise at work. Because if you ask for a raise at work, even in your current job now I'm not even speaking data, this cuts across everywhere. If you ask for a raise at work now and then they're asking you, okay, what's the basis for this? Because you've documented what it is that you've done while you were in the organization, you can easily bring it to them to say, I did this, and this was how it helped the company, right? So document your wins is very, very, very important. The things that you think that matter, the things that you think that don't, as long as they are very important, as long as they are in your career journey, just document them. Again, no knowledge gained is wasted. It will come in handy one day. One day, oh, I learned Yoruba in school, but I feel like it doesn't have any impact. But guess what? I've taught children before Yoruba. And then one day I go for an interview, and then someone is asking me a question, and they are maybe concerned about community development, giving back to the community. And then I just mention randomly that, oh, one of the things that I did is this. Just because I documented it, it comes to my fore. It's very easy for me to remember, right? And then I just mention it, and they say, oh, because of that, because we've been looking for someone that can also contribute to our CSR, and then, you're coming on board. We will just be consulting you from time to time based on this. I mean, you don't know where those things come in. Very handy. Document your skills. Now, the job search, landing your dream role. Tailor your resume and cover letter to a job description. Highlight relevant skills. Resumes tailored to specific job descriptions increase interview chances by 50%, right? And then I put there that leverage AI tools. As I said, you did Yoruba or you did Excel. Okay, let me leave Yoruba now, because Yoruba might not necessarily translate to data, right? But okay, you used Excel, and then you are wondering, how does Excel even contribute to this? Take the job role that you're applying for. I'm sure that we all already know this, but just in case you don't know, take the job role that it is that you're applying for. Take that thing that you did in Excel, no matter how basic you think it is, put it in ChatGPT or whatever AI platform you use, and then ask it to help you tailor that same skill to fit into the job role. You'd be surprised how well it will polish that thing that you did and make it look so beautiful and great. And then you'll be able to apply for the job. So this means that no two jobs rather require the same CV. Always try to ensure that the CV addresses the different jobs. Okay, so prepare for your technical interviews, practice SQL queries, coding challenges, and statistical concepts. Technical interviews are a key part of your data analyst hiring process, and they require thorough preparation. Very thorough preparation. Then showcase your portfolio and projects, as we've said earlier, and then practice answering behavioral questions. Highlight your soft skills and experiences. See, soft skills is coming in again. So you can't just say, oh, I'm just focusing on technical skills and no soft skills. Then the interview, putting the questions, behavioral, technical, and transferable. So behavioral skills, basically, they'll be more of tell us a time when you did this, or share a moment when this happened. How did you handle it? Or share an instance when you worked on a team and all of that. So you want to have those type of questions, Andy. You want to practice them. The technical questions, the ones that concern you, that have to do with you. And then, of course, the transferable skills. I cannot overemphasize this part. A lot of the times, we think that because I'm a medical doctor, right? And then I want to do data, I don't have transferable skills. Put it to you that you do. You actually have skills that you can bring into this. And that's where your soft skills come in. Whether it is soft skills or whether it is some skills that you already know in that space. So for instance, if you're a medical doctor and then you are going for data analysis, just for the fact that you maybe just know Excel small, you can weigh in heavily. You can make your transferable skills, the ones that you can bring from this space, you can bring it into this and then just weigh in heavily on that. So you want to talk about your people management skills. You want to talk about your ability to work in a team, because at the end of the day, the organization is not just after your skill sets, they're also after how well you are able to get along with the other people. So what skill do you have where you are coming from that you can put here and make you successful? It is equally as important. So don't just discard it and say, I'm only going to have the skills that this job requires. No. So if I'm going to give you a 3-month guide as to how to get a job, this is what I'm going to say. I think I've said this before, the very beginning, that master SQL and Excel basics. If I interchange them, it will be Excel before SQL, or whichever one works for you first time. Master Excel, then go a little more technical SQL, and then you can now come back to learn Python and visualization. You can learn them side by side. Month 3, you can build your portfolio and apply for jobs. This will be for people that are just devoting their 3 months to this and they don't have a 9 to 5. So that those of us that have a proper 9 to 5, we don't come and kill ourselves that, oh, how can I learn all of this? No, it's not for everybody. As long as it takes you, give it time. Give it time. I mean, as a popular quote, I don't know who quoted it, but how that they will say that Rome was not built in a day. So give it time. If it's going to take as much as a year, give it time. You definitely get them. Then, of course, your learning part, online courses, hands-on projects, certifications. You need certifications because they are kind of like the endorsements that you actually did this. You're not just saying that, oh, I did this. The certifications are actually showing that, yes, that you went through that process and you did that. So now networking. Attend industry conferences and meetups, join online communities and forums. So on Slack, they have communities. They have communities for data analysts. Even on Glassdoor, funny enough, they have communities like that. So on Glassdoor, they have on LinkedIn. So I mean, I'm sure that even if you go on IG, you probably see communities like that. So you want to be in communities like that just so that you are abreast of industry news, because one of the things that occurs every time is that the data landscape keeps on changing. Newer things are coming in. And so you just want to be evolving as the space is evolving, as the ecosystem is evolving, and then connect with data professionals on LinkedIn. Again, you can't do this journey alone. You need a community. So join up with professionals. This was not even you people having a community. It's just at least on LinkedIn, just so that you can see what it is that they're sharing, and then you know. So now the future of data analysis, embrace automation, augmented analytics, and ethical considerations. So automation, of course, as I said earlier, you don't want to have repetitive tasks that you are doing all the time, tedious repetitive tasks. So every time you are working on a project, it's to the end that you are able to automate it. Be thinking, how do I automate this so that I'm not stressing and going through this? again and again and again. And then augmented analytics. Um, this is natural language processing makes data analysis very accessible, right? Augmented analytics further boosts augmented reality. So you see how that data analytics is the foundation of everything. And this is why I'm still saying that your role as a data analyst can never be redundant. And AI cannot just take over your job. Before AI will take over my job, I would rather create that AI that will take over other people's jobs, not my own job. But I'm the one that is creating it, right? So augmented analytics and then ethical considerations. So it means that we are already talking about data privacy. We're talking about how secure are these people's data. You don't want data breaches, you don't want data leakages, right? So they are very, very important. I'm trying to run along very quickly. Yeah. And so the next step, this is my concluding thought. Remember that data is out there. Go get it. So if you ask me, or if I'm to tell my younger self that what is it that I'm going to do going forward, I'm going to say that first off, start with one skill at a time. Don't learn multiple skills. It's not going to help you, because what is that now does is that thing that was said about multitasking, that you are not able to fully focus on one, and then it will now take you a longer time to finish the two of them as opposed to one. So if you say that, oh, it's Excel I want to learn Excel. Learn Excel and learn it to the T. Learn it finish. And look for a way to start using it almost immediately. Even as you are learning it, be using it. Look for how you can use Excel at work. Just look for how you can use Excel personally. When you are done with that, then move to the next. That's as if you don't have any at all. And if you already have some, you can just maybe brush up on what it is that you already know. Then number two, join a community and be accountable. So these three steps that I'm sharing here are, if you do not hear anything at all that I've said from the very beginning, let these three go with you. Remember these three. Now, this second point where I said be accountable is very, very important, especially for those of us that do a 9 to 5, because it's very easy for us to get back home and then say, oh, I'm tired, I'm not taking any class today. But then tiny drops of water can be shown. So it means that if I'm telling myself that, oh, I want to learn this skill 20 minutes per day, what this will mean is that in a week, if I'm showing up every day, in a week I've spent 140 minutes. 140 minutes is about 2 hours 20 minutes, right? As opposed to every week on Saturday I'm going to be learning 2 hours, and then on Sunday I'll be learning 2 hours, and then it eventually doesn't happen because Saturday somebody was doing wedding and then I have to go, and then Sunday I go back from church and I was tired, right? So it means showing up every day is actually very important. Now, where the community comes in is you are accountable by telling somebody, I learned this and then it really helped me. So one of the things I did for my own self that helped me move very fast from where I was to where I wanted to be was that I looked for someone, and then I told the person that every day I want to spend 30 minutes taking a class. I didn't tell the person what it was that I was learning. I just told the person, so what I'm going to be doing every day is I will enter your DM and then I will clock in. So I'm taking the class today, 8:30. I'm in your DM. I've clocked in 8:30. It might be 10 p.m. It might be 11 p.m. I clock in. And then by 11:30, I clock out. Sometimes it might be 1 hour. Sometimes it might be 2. Depends on how energetic I feel that day, right? Now, the person was not saying anything. The person never even used to acknowledge it, but I already told the person what I was trying to achieve. And then one day, I only did 15 minutes. Of course, there are days when I sleep off. It's not like every day I'm always very diligent. But I put it there. And then there was a day I did 15 minutes or whether 10 minutes. And then the person messaged me, whether the next day or that evening. And then the person says, why did you do 15 minutes today? And then I have to tell the person that, oh, you noticed. And she was like, yes, I've been seeing your track record, how you've been, like, I know, and have, at least on an average, you do like 30 minutes. But today's one is 15 minutes. Why? And then I had to explain, oh, I was very sleepy and all. And the person said, okay, so does that mean that you are adding today's 15 minutes to tomorrow's 30 minutes, meaning that you are doing 45 minutes? And one of the things that now did for me was it made me sit up. It made me say, oh, okay, this person is noticing. And then in the space of, was it 3 months now, 2 months, I was able to finish what I was learning because I had someone that I was accountable to. As opposed to me before then, I was probably on this thing for like a whole year and I had not learned what I needed to learn. But just because I went to somebody and then I said, oh, I want to be accountable to you for this, I was able to cover it in 2 months. So I'm just saying this, just in case you are struggling and you're wondering how you can combine this with your 9 to 5 or with your already busy schedule. Show up every day. That's all. Show up every day. If you need an accountability partner, look around your circle and you definitely find someone. And yeah, finally, start building your portfolio with a personal project. Doesn't necessarily have to be something very big. It can be something small. It can even be your own personal business. Build your portfolio. Build your portfolio. Very, very important. And yeah, I believe this is the end of my slide. That will be all from me. Thank you so much, everyone. And thank you for staying till the end. For those of us that came from the beginning and then stayed to the end. Thank you so much. So I don't know if we have any questions.
Good evening, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you,
Uh,
thank you, Stacy.
thank you.
Thank you. I enjoyed the class, even though I left at some point. So I enjoyed the class and really appreciate. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. Out of your busy schedule. So you're all saying thank you. You're all saying so. Any question?
Thank
We have less than to put out of there. Any question? Just any question? Any question? Any question? Okay, Mr. Yusuf, you have the floor, sir.
You have the floor, sir. All right. Good evening, everyone. Miss Stacy, thank you so much. This was a well articulated lecture. I don't have so much of a question. Just a request if we are going to be getting the slide so that we can go over it over and again and assimilate.
Oh, okay. It's fine. I think I can share it with the admin.
Okay, thank you so much. That will be very much appreciated.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you. So, once you share it, I'm going to send it to the Slack channel. So, any other question? Any other? Any other question?
Okay, so I guess if there's no question, I would just like to ask. I mean, anybody can just answer. So, okay, Esther has raised her hand. Okay, but before Esther, I think that I'll just ask a question, right? So I'd like someone to just share, like, if there is any take home, if you were to. So imagine that you're already a data analyst now, and then you had to speak to someone else to encourage someone else. What would be that one thing that you leave with the person? So does anybody want to share? Okay, I Izuchukwu. You have the floor. You have the floor.
Okay, I'll answer it in two ways. On a lighter note, the person needs God, but on a serious note, I think what I would tell the person is number one, the person has to have a knack for data problem solving because it is in my opinion that if you don't have an eye for problem solving, you would have a lot of hitches when it comes to data analysis. You understand? You may not necessarily be a guru in mathematics per se, as people perceive it to be, but if you have a knack for problem solving and you have a beautiful way of communicating your visuals, then I think you can actually succeed as a data analyst. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much, Izuchukwu. I feel like I've taught you people another thing again by just insisting that you have to know God. But yeah, you really do have to know God. Okay, so does someone else want to share? Like, does someone else want to answer the question, or am I seeing hands because people have questions to ask? So I'm seeing two Esthers raise their hands. So Esther Esther, I think Esther Chinenyenwa was the first to raise her hand. So over to you.
Hello. Okay, so I would like to add to what Izuchukwu said before asking my question. So concerning advising somebody, now I will just take myself for example. I don't know anything that has to do with mathematics. In fact, I literally avoid math all through my life. So I would say the person should find something that motivate him or her concerning data analysis. For me, it is the money. So I always think about the end result. So that end result keep moving me. That's it. The end result of me making my money as a data analyst. And then for the question is can you help us with sites where we can get, in fact I've been discussing this with a friend of mine, where we can get internships that we can, maybe after the course or the boot camp, we can find ourselves to do. You know, I don't know, sometimes I've even tried LinkedIn, but I think I'm running into scams more than the real deal. So I don't know if you have any sites like that that we can actually use, that you can advise us for. So it would be a nice thing. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Esther. Thank you for the question and then for your contribution. Yes, actually, I didn't mention that part. Have something that drives you, have a motivation, because at the end of the day, it is when the going gets tough, it is your motivation for doing that thing that will keep you going. So if it is money, it's very, very important. It will keep you going. Thank you. She spoke like the true Igbo woman that she is. And as for the what's it called now? The sites. So I've been in this dilemma before, and yeah, it was quite difficult, right? But I think that one of the things that I'll try to check again for legit sites. But yeah, I totally understand your concerns with LinkedIn. So sometimes a lot of people say that on LinkedIn that what's it called now? Down LinkedIn, most of the jobs on there are not legit. So sometimes when you see a post, you maybe want to go and check the job site itself, the company site rather, to check if those type of jobs exist. Now, in a case where those type of jobs probably don't exist, I think that you can just do a random check. Some companies usually just have internships come up. So I maybe will not be able to tell you about just internships. The flip side is you can as well volunteer. I remember that one of the things that I kept on saying was that all your experiences count at the end of the day. So it means that, especially when you are doing international jobs, you can as well apply for entry level roles. Some entry level roles do not require experience. Some of them require minimal experience, right? So you can apply for those type of jobs, and how you can get them is just job boards. So if you go to remote job boards like Flex Jobs, remote work, Dex work, like there are a couple of them like that. You can as well just change the filter to internships, and then I'm sure that you most likely see internship or entry level role. But again, don't sell yourself for cheap in saying that, oh, it just has to be entry level. If you've learned certain skills and you are a very good communicator, trust me, you can talk your way to get your next job without necessarily having to go through an internship first. Thank you. I don't know if that answered your question, Esther.
It did. Yeah, you've answered. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so Esther, sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your surname and I don't want to murder it, but do you want to help me with it? How do you pronounce your surname, please?
Good evening. I'm Esther Abiamoe.
Oh, and I would have gotten it if I pronounced it. All right, over to you,
Okay.
please.
Thank you so much for the session. I really learned a lot. Just to answer your question for like giving advice to someone that is starting up like their data analytics journey. First, I'll tell them to just start because I'll make an example of myself. Um, my own focus is in health, like I studied health I didn't do anything, like I didn't even know anything about Excel. So I remember starting data analytics class with one other organization. I actually applied and I got in, but I was scared of starting because I just felt, what if I don't know? What if I don't? What if I can't? What if Excel is too hard? What if SQL is too hard? And they were telling us, Python, this, that, that, that. So that fear, I didn't join them for that set. When I now applied again and I joined the second set and I went through and I graduated, and I'm like, where I was before the fear and where I am now after the fear. So most times is the fear of the unknown, fear if we can finish it, fear what of putting ourselves out there, actually posting our work on platforms on LinkedIn because we don't want to get bashed. Because most times people just want that perfect dashboard to post online so that it just get good feedbacks and the rest. But most I always say start, just start, put yourself out there, get criticism, improve on yourself with those criticism and just move on. Secondly, always document the process. Document every um, project you do, be it a small data, be it just a simple thing. Always document these things and continue learning because in this field, every day you need to learn more. You can't say I know Excel 100% or I know SQL 100% or I know Python. No, you always continue learning and learning. So that's it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Esther. I didn't even know that there was real life example of someone that didn't necessarily need to have all of the skill sets to get a job. And you see how that she said that she eventually succeeded at the job. And sometimes a lot of the times the what holds us back from being the best version of ourselves is actually fear. It's actually the fear of the unknown. So sometimes you don't have to wait till you're 100% or you have everything figured out. And yes, I left out the LinkedIn part, but it is equally important. Like I know I mentioned LinkedIn, but I mentioned it in the context of connect with people on LinkedIn, but also showcase your work. I mean, another way you can get seen, whether it's on IG really, whether it's on Instagram or it's on LinkedIn, just make sure that your work is out there. Don't think too much about yourself. Of course, like think about yourself, but don't give too much thought to, oh, how people perceive me, how do I look in front of people. Don't take yourself too serious. I think that's how I'll say that. Don't take yourself too serious. At the end of the day, you'll do well. You'll do well and you do great. You are better than what you think you are right now. So yeah, so just think really high of yourself. Thank you so much, Esther, for sharing. Thank you. I don't know if there are any more questions or contributions. If there are, thank you. But in the absence of any, over to you, Isaac.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. And you mentioned one thing. Did, I think that was the last thing you mentioned. Portfolio. Portfolio is very, very important. Uh, that's what they are going to ask for. Okay. At times now, I think we have probably heard this saying. No one cares about what you study or certificate. What can you do? That is what they will ask. Elon Musk said it, I think, last night when he was hiring people for the Dodge and all that. No, I don't care. He was hiring engineers. I don't care what you study. If you like, go and have you. It's not my business. What can you do for me? But that's true. You need a good portfolio. The idea of capstone projects and bootcamp comes in. That is why we want to give you people two, at least two portfolio and projects in the portfolio before going to the brutal job market. Understand? And I won't want you to take it for granted. It is very, very important. It's not compulsory you do it. It's not compulsory. So you can choose to put out yourself without the capstone and without passing the capstone and boot camp. There's no stability. But it's not compulsory. But I would say it is very, very important. The go to it. So um, so that's that. So to repeat, so thank you so much, Miss Stacy. Thank you so much. I enjoyed your session, and I hope we all do. Thank you so much. And I would like you to help us share the link to your LinkedIn profile, so people can. I think you share some insight, data insight, and all that. So hope we can get the link to your LinkedIn profile, possibly through the chat box, so we can just give you a follow. Uh, Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. So, for the benefit of those that were not here, being part of the class, so we talked about the capstone, and we already so the capstone, those that qualify for the capstone are the same people that qualify for the boot camp. So, if you happen not to see your name among the list, if you are not among, just send your appeal and evidence. If you feel, oh, I qualified, I did this, I did that, I attended the class, I submitted an assignment, and you happen not to find your name among the list, just send your appeal to James at divehq.online. So let's see. With your evidence, please. With your evidence, I can see. Oh, thank you, man. Thank you, man. So please, you have to send people on this call. So 67 minus Miss Stacy, so that's 66. So please, let's give her a follow. Just check the link to this chat box. Following her is not, of course, you know that limit does not pay for it is for your own benefit. Limit does not pay. So if it's YouTube now, if because you want to monetize it, it is for your own benefit. She posts data insights where you can see and all that, and so you will be able to learn a lot from her. Please give her a follow. I I I believe tonight she should have over 60 new followers over me. So like I was saying, um, if you feel there's a bias, Mr. Adeyemi is biased, they are not, send your appeal to James. I'll be